Hey everyone, welcome. I have a quick one for you today, using items from the Dollar Tree to create a lovely Valentine's Day gift. Let me show you how I created this gift idea. Let's look at the materials that you would need to create this piece. I have here a jar with a screw-on lid from the kitchen department at the Dollar Tree. Now you could use any glass container for this as well, but I'm just showing you what I used from the Dollar Tree. I have here some scrapbook paper. I'm showing you some different options. Now this scrapbook paper did come from Hobby Lobby. However, the Dollar Tree has beautiful gift bags, and you could as well take a gift bag and cut out the same circular piece to fit on the top of that glass jar, and it would look just as beautiful. I have here an assortment of ribbons, all from the Dollar Tree, although possibly that pink one on the top may not be from the Dollar Tree, but the other three are. And I do have these little they're like paper roses. I had picked them up at Hobby Lobby, but I'll make another suggestion for something you could use in place of the one little rose that I did happen to use on this piece. I had some Waverly Snow White chalk paint there. I'm going to be painting the sides of that lid. And I have some Mod Podge. That's how I'm going to adhere the paper to the top of that jar lid. I have here some craft wire, scissors, a pencil to trace around the lid, and I also have some stick-on hearts. I was contemplating putting them on the jar, but I ended up not doing it, but how you may possibly choose to do so. You could use stickers on the jar if you like. And then I have here Hershey's Kisses, which you won't find at the Dollar Tree, but you could fill the jar as well with some type of candy from the Dollar Tree. So we're going to start by preparing the lid. I'm going to take this Snow White Waverly chalk paint and paint the sides of my lid. Now I did put 2 coats on here, and I ended up putting another coat of white acrylic paint on there just so I could have a smoother finish. Now I'm going to take my pencil and my scrapbook paper, but again, you could use a gift bag and do the same thing. Trace around the lid. You're going to put some Mod Podge on the lid, and you're just going to adhere your paper to the top of that lid. Now I had so many scrapbook papers and a Valentine Day print, but I decided to use this little, the little heart scrapbook paper. And this is the simplest idea, but it turns out so pretty, and it's always special to create a gift with a little bit of your handmade talents. And I'm going to place a little bit of that pink gross grain ribbon around the outer edge of my lid. Now there's a lot of creativity going on in my home today other than what's going on at my table. So I apologize if you hear a drill noise or two. I appreciate your patience in that. Okay, now I am going to create a beautiful little bow to go on this side of that jar. Now I have 4 different ribbons here. I'm actually going to create a little bow using 4 different narrow ribbons. And I'm just going to use the same method that I always use. Fold over the loops which are about, I want to say 3.5 to 4 inches. I left a little 4-inch tail, which I will trim up later on that glass jar after I get everything all attached. 3 loops on each side, or 6 loops all together for each one of the layers of this little bow. And this just looks so pretty on the side of this jar. When it's all finished, you'll see it's really beautiful. And my ribbons are a combination of pinks and reds. I'm going to use a little bit of craft wire to wrap around the center of that bow to hold all of my loops together and stable. Twist it in the back, and then we'll be on to tier number 2 of this bow. That's going to have 4 tiers or 4 layers to the bow. Next, I'm going to use this pink ribbon, and I'm going to create the bow in exactly the same way. 3.5 to 4 inches on the loops as far as length, 3 loops on each side, pinching in the middle, folding over my loops. If you would like to see a bow tutorial or multiple bow tutorials, I certainly have them. Just check out my playlist, and I'll put one in the description box. I'm going to be filling my jar with Hershey's Kisses in silver, pink, and red, I believe. Yes. And you could as well find some type of candy to fill that jar, or whatever you want to fill the jar with, at the Dollar Tree. I mentioned that before. We're going to be stacking those bows one on top of the other. The next ribbon I'm going to use is the X and O ribbon with the little red hearts. Again, creating it the same way that I create the other two bows, and wrapping it again around with craft wire. Now, those little roses that I mentioned before, I am going to use one of the little pink roses. They're absolutely beautiful. I found them in the Valentine's Day department at Hobby Lobby, but I'm going to suggest some other things. If you don't want to put a center loop on your bow, you could put a heart button in the center, which would look really cute. Or you could put a very, very small wooden heart in the center. You could paint it red or paint it pink. If you had a glitter heart, you could also do the same. I would make sure that it's a small size so it's not overpowering for the size of the bow itself. Or you could simply just put a small loop right down the center of your bow. Now, as far as the stickers that I showed you, I did try putting stickers on the front of my jar. They actually were like a felt sticker, but I just wasn't too crazy about it. Maybe if it were a different type of sticker, I would have been more pleased with it, but I just tried out what I have on hand. But Dollar Tree has stickers, so you may want to look for something like that, just to put a few stickers on the front of your jar, or just some stickers around your jar. You do you. It's just a suggestion. I was just satisfied with just putting the Hershey's Kisses in there with the bow on the side. But like I said, you do you, whatever you like. I'm just here for inspiration and to offer ideas. So here's that little rose. Oh my goodness, these were so pretty, so well made. So I'm just going to hot glue that right in the center. It just adds a little more visual interest and a nice little touch to the piece. I'm going to hot glue that in, and then I have to attach all of those layers together of that bow. And so here I am doing just that. I'm going to cut the wires off of the back so I get a nice flush application, bow upon bow. That's layer number 2. Oh, I just think this bow is so pretty. I just love mixing patterns. And all the beautiful Valentine's Day colors really make such a beautiful, beautiful bow. And I just imagine this to be, just a really beautiful gift for a family member, a coworker, a teacher, a loved one, just suitable in so many different situations. And especially nice if you have a bit of your creative touch on the gift. Always makes that a little more special. So I am twisting my wire around the back to hold all of those layers together. And then I will manage all of those crazy tails hanging down there after I get it on the jar and decide exactly how long or short I want them to be. But so pretty. Now I'm just kind of situating the loops of my bow accordingly to how I like it. I will be angling my tails, but you can dovetail if you like. And this is just a beautiful bow that's going to be glued to the side of that jar, not to the lid, but to the side of the jar, because you have to be able to unscrew the lid off the jar. So you don't want to place it right on the jar lid. So I place it right in the area where the seam was, just to kind of camouflage that seam a little bit there. With the loops poking up, it will do that. So I'm going to, as I said, be using glue to put this on the side of the jar. I'm going to be using a combination of Aleene's tacky glue and hot glue for the short-term hold, just so I can get it to stick there long enough for that Aleene's tacky glue to dry. And there's that glue I was mentioning. I'm going to put a generous portion of that on the back side of the bow. And then I'm going to place hot glue on top of that. Now I'm going to place the bow right on the glass, right below the bottom edge of the rim of that lid. And I'm going to take that off just so I can make sure that I'm getting a good adherence of that bow. I actually ended up using 2 clips. Actually, they're Dollar Tree clips. Those come in super handy if you're a crafter. And here they are. Looks rather unattractive at the moment with those big clips on there. But as soon as the bow is dry, of course, I'll be taking those off. But this is a good way to hold the bow on until that tacky glue sets up. Now I'm going to start angling my tails of my ribbons. Some of them long, some of them a little shorter. And they look just look pretty hanging down or cascading down the side of the jar. Now you could put the bow on the left side or the right side, or you can put it in the middle if you like. That's up to you. You also want to think about if you're going to put stickers on, exactly where you want to put your bow and position your bow on the piece.
Rosie, 2 pillows.
So my bow appears to be dry now. Now you can see that I have some red hearts on there. I pulled those off. I didn't like them, as I mentioned. So I just left my sides with those stickers, and here's the finished gift. I hope you like this one and feel inspired to make one. If you like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are not currently a subscriber, I hope you will become one. And until next time, you all take care.